Have you ever asked an AI to write a poem, create an image, or just answer a random question? It feels like magic, right? But this magic has a history that stretches back centuries, long before computers even existed. Today, we're going on a whirlwind tour through the incredible history of artificial intelligence. How did we get from ancient philosophy to the powerful tools we use every day? Let's find out. Our story begins not with silicon chips, but with ancient Greek philosophy. Thinkers like Aristotle, way back in the 4th century BC, were already developing systems of formal logic. They were essentially creating the first rulebooks for reasoning, figuring out how to get from one true statement to another. This was the philosophical seed of AI, the idea that thought itself could be broken down into a structured process. Fast forward a couple of thousand years to 1914. Spanish inventor Leonardo Torres y Quevedo built a machine called El Ajedrecista, or the chess player. It was a clunky electromechanical device that could play a simple endgame in chess all by itself. This was one of the very first physical machines designed to mimic an intelligent task. It was a glimpse into a future where machines could not just calculate, but strategize. Then, in 1950, the legendary British mathematician Alan Turing dropped a bombshell. In his paper Computing Machinery and Intelligence, he proposed what we now call the Turing test. The idea was simple but profound. Could a machine converse with a human so convincingly that the human couldn't tell they were talking to a computer? This question set the ultimate goal for the field and is still debated today. The term artificial intelligence itself wasn't even coined until 1956. A group of brilliant researchers gathered at Dartmouth College for a summer workshop. It was here that computer scientist John McCarthy officially named the field, kicking off a golden age of optimism and discovery. During this time, the very first successful AI programs emerged. In 1952, Arthur Samuel created a checkers program that could learn from its mistakes and eventually play better than its creator. Then in 1966, a program called ELIZA, created by Joseph Weizenbaum, became the world's first chatbot, simulating a conversation by recognizing keywords and spitting back scripted responses. It was simple, but it captivated people. However, the initial excitement hit a wall. In the 1970s and again in the late 80s, the field entered what's known as the AI winters. The promises had been huge, but the available computing power was tiny. Progress stalled and funding dried up. People became skeptical. But even in the cold, seeds for the future were being sown. The 1980s saw the rise of expert systems, which were commercially successful AI that followed a strict set of rules to perform specific tasks, like configuring computer systems for businesses. And critically, a mathematical technique called backpropagation became popular, allowing neural networks to be trained much more efficiently. This was a game changer that would pave the way for the next revolution. As we entered the 1990s and 2000s, two things changed everything: massive amounts of data from the growing internet and a huge leap in computing power, especially with graphics cards or GPUs. The focus shifted from programming rules by hand to creating systems that could learn from the data. This is the era of machine learning. And AI started proving its intelligence in the most public way possible: games. In 1997, IBM's Deep Blue defeated world chess champion Garry Kasparov. In 2011, IBM Watson crushed human champions on the TV show Jeopardy, showing it could understand complex, nuanced language. And in 2016, DeepMind's AlphaGo beat the world's best Go player, a game considered infinitely more complex than chess. This brings us to the last decade and the rise of deep learning and generative AI. A breakthrough architecture called the Transformer model, introduced in 2017, completely changed how we process language. This led to the creation of large language models, or LLMs, like GPT-3 and its successors. These massive models, trained on unfathomable amounts of text and data, can now generate stunningly human-like text, code, and images from a simple prompt. From Aristotle's logic to AI that can create art, it's been a long and fascinating journey. What was once science fiction is now our reality, and it's still evolving every single day. Thanks for joining me on this trip through AI history. If you found this fascinating, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the tech that is shaping our world. See you in the next one.